IELTS speaking is always a nightmare for me, especially the cue card. I run out of ideas. As and when the examiner asks me to speak, I just shut my mouth. Whatever I try, the marks are not coming. Then, if you're wondering with these questions, then trust me, today's video will help you understand lot many things about how to handle cue card effectively, conveniently, comfortably with a super awesome template. All you gotta do is make sure you watch the video till the end. Hey everybody, Nakul from Skills IELTS. Really hope everybody is doing fantastic. I'm back with yet another super awesome power packed video about IELTS speaking cue card, and this time with a proper template. Before we get into the video, if not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, and anytime you need online assistance, it's a paid assistance, you can WhatsApp us to the number appearing at the bottom of the screen. I'll be there, we will be there to help you, guide you in the right direction. Alright, without further delay, let's quickly start off. Let me just share my screen. IELTS speaking cue card template. So as you all know, in speaking there are three sections, part 1, part 2 and part 3. Today we are dealing with part 2. But part 2 is all about part 1. What if I tell you part 2 is all about part 1? Nakul, what you basically talking about? Correct? Let me just reveal the suspense in just a while. But before that, this is very important. Before we dive into the actual concepts of cue card, we need to understand how you are basically evaluated. So this is a pillar. If the pillar is strong, you can construct 7 floor, 8 floor, 10 floor multi-story building as well. If the pillar is not strong, you will not be able to construct even one floor, correct? This is that pillar, this is the base. You need to know how you are evaluated. First thing first, fluency and coherence. You will be evaluated with respect to fluency and coherence. What is this fluency? Speaking fast, Nakul? No. Right now I am not talking very fast. I am going at a comfortable speed. I am speaking natural. Couple of pauses here and there will definitely do the needful. You don't have to worry about it, but speak in a rhythm so that the opponent or the other person who is listening to you will not be bored. Its fluency is all about speaking the way I am doing right now. Take your time, go slow, no need to rush, but try to speak a bit more continuous so that the rhythmic speed will be there. Couple of fumbles are totally fine. Coherence is the flow of the ideas. There has to be a proper narration. It's like the screenplay in the movie. Correct? Some movies you don't like because the movie is not so good because I did not like the story. I did not like the narration. That narration is the coherence question. You need to speak in a way that arouses interest or the curiosity with respect to the examiner. You should not make examiner say, alright, the next question. She should not say this. That is the coherence. We will understand how a template can actually fix all these problems. And then lexical resource, vocabularies, that lexical resource, it is about showing or showcasing wide range of vocabulary. Don't intentionally use some hi-fi words. Use the words that you are very comfortable with, some synonyms, some phrases. The template covers each and everything. I will just show you that shortly. Grammar is all about right usage of tenses. You need to have mixture of present tense, past tense, future tense, simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence and lot many things. Use the template that I am going to give you today. Automatically it will be fixed. Pronunciation, don't worry about it. It's so difficult to change the way we pronounce because these many years we have already practiced pronouncing in a certain way, correct? All of a sudden if you want to change, it will lead to some other problems, isn't it so? So pronunciation here is not about pronouncing the words, to an extent yes, but not completely. It is all about clarity. Let's say I speak the word education as education. Will that be a problem? No, it's okay. First of all, some other the country people speak education as education. So there is nothing like a perfect pronunciation. So don't worry, go at your comfortable way of speech, but let it be very crisp. The clarity should be crisp. Whatever you speak, the other person should understand. Then only the marks will be allotted. Hope you are getting it. So now we will quickly go into the template part. But to understand the template, we need the part 1. I will tell you why. Hold on for a few minutes. Part 1 is all about asking personal questions. Correct? They will ask you, let's talk about your hometown. What kind of place is it? What's the most interesting part of your town? Something like this will come. Part 2 will be cue card, where you need to speak for approximately 2 minutes with 1 minute preparation time. Something of this, describe an event you recently attended. You should say what kind of event it is, what it is about. There will be some questions. correct? So, how to answer part 2, that is what we need to focus on today. So, we should know how to answer part 1 to know how to answer part 2. Part 1 template, let us first memorize and then I will show you how to effectively make use of this part 1 template 5 times or 6 times to create the part 2 answer. It is like reusability, you already have a part of the answer, correct? Part 1 answer you have, part 1 you speak for 5 times. That would be 2 minutes approximately, man. Part 2 is done. So, part 1 template is this. For whatever the question, the very first sentence would be a simple sentence where you talk about the main idea, answer to the point, and then you paraphrase it, means you continue talking about it in the next line. Third line, you can either continue talking about it with an example or you can conclude by saying therefore. So, this is the easiest template that one can figure out that fits in for any kind of part 1 question. So, what exactly I mean? Let us say this is the question of a part 1. Do you cook? Some people say, no, I do not cook, I eat outside. This is not going to give you mark, correct? So, do you cook? Probably this could be an answer. Do you cook? Answer to the point. Do you cook? There is a question, answer it. Not much, I do not indulge much in cooking. Paraphrase, why? Think about why. Mostly I do not get time from my busy schedule, as a result I do not find cooking so interesting. This is the paraphrasing. Since I hardly find some free time from my busy work schedule, I order the food mostly outside online. Now, additional idea you can give or end it with an example or a conclusion. I am continuing an additional idea. To be frank, even if I find time, I do not like to cook as I am not good at it. So, this is not going to give you mark, but this will give you mark, and this is that template which makes you speak for 20 to 25 seconds on an average. You can practice. So, part 1 question, the answer will be for 20-25 seconds using this template, main idea, supporting idea, additional point or conclusion or example. These 3 lines, you are not going to speak more. These 3 lines will take 20-25 seconds. The main idea will be a simple sentence. For whatever the question asked, answer it. Second line will be compound or complex sentence. You start the sentence with since, although, though, even though, if, as soon as. All these create the dependency. Since I hardly find some time from my busy work schedule, see comma, continuation of a sentence I ordered. So, 2 sentences are involved. And then you can have one simple sentence or compound or complex. Second line start with since or as, though. It creates dependency, makes the sentence longer. You end up, without you are noticing, you end up using a complex sentence. So, now this goes for let us say 25 seconds. All I need for a part 2 is 120 seconds, approximately 2 minutes. This 25 into 5 is equal to 125. Look at the beauty of the mathematics involved. So, 120 seconds is equal to 2 minutes is what you need to speak in the cue card. Part 1 you can speak for 25 seconds, do that part 1 5 times, cue card done. Hope you are getting it. So, for part 2 we have one more template, inside that you put this part 1, cue card done. And one thing you need to notice, like I told you already, sorry going back. Where is the content here? Fluency coherence, lexical resource, grammar, pronunciation, 5 elements. Where is the 6th element called content? Content is not given any preference. Does not mean that you speak some random sentences, some generic sentences. No, you need to speak somewhere related to the question, yes. But even if you speak a very good point, or if you do not, it does not going to affect your speaking score. This is the trick. This people do not understand. They think, okay, I think I did not give a right idea, so I got less marks. This right idea, wrong idea concept is only in the writing, not in the speaking. Hope you are getting it, guys. Hope you are getting it. So, content is not going to give you marks. So, when you practice for fluency coherence, lexical resource, grammar, pronunciation. Not for the content, not for the content, not for the content. It is not what you speak. It is all about how you speak. Hope you are getting it. So, now we will quickly move on to continuation. So, here the template is answer to the point, paraphrase, conclusion or additional information or example. That is exactly what is written. Yellow, answer to the point, green, paraphrase, and the blue one, conclusion or additional information. This is part 1. The same thing we are going to use it for part 2. Pay more attention, part 2 should have the past tense, present tense, future tense. Remember, all these contribute marks. Simply if you talk in present tense or future tense, you don't get marks. Past tense is also needed. Entire thing, if you just keep in past, you don't get marks either. Hope you are getting it. So, the structure, the template that I have given you on the screen helps you, get your grammar marks straight away 9 if you clearly follow it, religiously follow it. Correct? Background information is what you speak for 25 to 30 seconds. 25 to 30 seconds is what you usually speak in part 1. So, part 1 template inside that, put it and speak. We will see what background information means. And then main idea, they would have given some 3-4 bulletin points, remember, for a cue card. Use them to generate ideas. 60 second to 20 to 25 second, first bulletin point, 20 to 25 second, second bulletin point, 20 to 25 second, third bulletin point. So, main idea is done. Hope you are getting it. And then talk about the possibility in the future. This also 20 to 25 seconds or 30 seconds. Same as part 1 template. Main idea, paraphrase, example, conclusion or additional information. So, the idea is, even after saying these things, if the examiner is not talking at all, she still wants to listen from you, then add a conclusion. This also some 10 to 15 seconds. By then, definitely the examiner, he or she will ask you to stop. So, now the main idea what I am talking about is, this is part 1 template, this part 1 template, part 1 template, part 1 template 3 times, and this part 1 template. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 times is what you are going to use the part 1 template. Then learn the part 1 template properly, things are done. Main idea, supporting idea, conclusion. For any question does not matter, you need to represent them this way. So, now we will see a small demo. So, the question is the same question that I just showed you here. Describe an event that you recently attended. You should say what kind of event it is, what it is about, why you went to the event, did you enjoy the event. See, Nakul, is these 4 things really important? No, these are not at all important. You can talk about any event, whatever you want, but these 4 help you get that idea generation, because already question is there, it is easier to generate the ideas. If the questions are not there, for some it is difficult to generate the ideas. You can make use of this and generate 3 ideas in that main idea segment. If you do not want, then leave it, not required, you can generate the ideas on your own. It is not going to affect your scores, the content. So, now sorry on that, like I showed you, we go with the background information and then main ideas 3 times part 1, and then we are going to talk about the future, again part 1. So, background information, there is a template. I would like to talk about an event that I recently attended. Firstly, to add few pointers to this, I must admit that there is a very nice story that is attached with this. When I was talk about anything, when I was 10 years, when I was in my 10th school, when I was in 9th standard, when I was very small, main idea, supporting idea, conclusion, additional point or example, 3 lines, that is what it is. When I was blah 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 blah, although, since, when, if, blah 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 blah, moreover, in addition, so, to conclude anything. So, this is that part 1 answer. Hope you are getting it. I will show the way of doing it very shortly. So, that is the background information. Now, we have 3 main ideas, we have to talk for 60 to 70 seconds. So, that we will come next. So, this is the background information. I would like to talk about an event that I recently attended. Firstly, to add few pointers to this, I must admit there is a nice story that is attached with this. First thing done. Main idea, describe an event that you attended. Event, circus I attended. Background information, when I was young, I always wanted to watch live circus. Although I never had a chance to, watch live circus, I always had this dream that whenever I get an opportunity, but I should not miss it next time. So, recently when I got the free ticket from my friend Akshay, I realized I have this great opportunity and I did not miss it. See, just cook up the story, but it should surround the main idea. Hope you are getting it. Hope you are getting it. So, this is the part 1 template. 3 lines, see there properly, line number 1, line number 2, line number 3. This is template. When I was young, I always wanted to watch live circus. Although I am making use of a complex sentence, you can say when, if, whenever, wherever, although, though, even though, as soon as, anything. Although I never had a chance to see how circus feels like, I always waited for that day to come. So, recently when I got a free ticket from my friend to attend circus event. I ventured out to attend it for the first time in my life. Background information is done. This particular thing is done. We used 2 sentences from template and 3 sentences from part 1. Here main idea for 60 seconds, correct. So, this is the most important thing. For this you will use that additional in the beginning 1 minute timer they give, right, correct. Use the timer to write down the main idea 1, main idea 2, main idea 3. I repeat, 1 minute in the beginning they are going to give you before they ask you to start speaking. There will be some questions. See the question number 1, describe an event blah blah blah. Number 1, explain the event. Think circus that happened recently in the area near to my place. Write it down in short notes. Idea number 2, they would have given the second bulletin point. You can consider that, or you can write anything on your own about circus. Idea number 3, these 3 ideas you write. It should not take more than 30 seconds. Still, if you have time, 30 seconds more or 20 seconds or whatever the time you are left with. Try adding supporting points. So, now you have everything written here. This particular thing is what constitutes a lot of marks. This thing is ready. These things you do not have to prepare, you can cook up the story, correct. So, now we are ready with the main idea. Circus, first main idea I will write. Recently I attended circus near to my place. My friend asked me to come and I went there, and it was so nice, especially to see the performances live. People were so crowded, everyone was laughing at their heart's content. Idea done. Second idea. Moreover, when Joker entered the scene, oh man, it was such a lovely thing that happened. Joys all around. He had this natural ability to make people laugh. And not just that, third idea. There were this cycle gymnastics where people used to sit on a cycle and do a lot of gymnastics. That reminded me of endless possibilities of a human mind. Or you can say, and then came elephants. I actually felt for them. I felt inhuman to treat them that way, because one person was standing there and holding a big sword, trying to torture it, intimidate it, so that the elephant would do something nicer for the crowd. 3 ideas done. So, this way you can come up with anything, write it down. All you got to do is make sure you speak fluently with a proper narration, grammar, lexical resource and pronunciation. So, the template continues this way. Talk about the main idea 1, simple sentence. Use 1 bulletin point, develop the idea, although due to this. This is not mandatory, just try to speak 3 sentences, that is what I mean. Another interesting point is that tell a main idea, although or if, when, so, the next line. 3 sentences is task, part 1, correct. So, this is part 1 template, this is part 1 template. To add further, see, this is important. To add further, you are adding another additional idea. Another interesting point is that here talk about the main idea, main idea, main idea. 3 ideas with 2 things, 2 these connectors, linking words. Another interesting point is that to add further, again part 1 template. These 3 is what we need to write, and for these the main ideas here, right, main idea, main idea, main idea. Write it down before that 1 minute timer ends. And can I look into my notes and speak? Oh, definitely yes. Why not? Then why will they give you that? Correct. So, you can have a look at it and speak. So, the circus arena was filled with a lot of people. Main idea. Want to continue? Although it was a little boring in the beginning, I am just cooking up a story, but I am fixing it inside the template. I soon got into it for the majestic performances. In fact, the cycle show where everyone does gymnastics through a cycle was indeed eye capturing. Another interesting point was that Joker was the main highlight of the event, simple sentence. Now, complex sentence. As soon as he entered, see this creating a dependency. All I could hear for the next 20 minutes was just the laughter. Truly, he was the man with lot of inborn talents. Truly, these people are natural talent, born to make others laugh. Anything is fine. To add further, then came elephants, where I felt it was inhuman to hurt. The main idea is done. Now, a guide was, you do not have to intentionally use all those since you can make a compound sentence. See here, a guide was holding a sharp sword to intimidate the elephants, and those pretty creatures had to forcefully do things they did not like. All in all, it was a mixed feeling to be a part of such an event. So, this goes for at least 60 to 70 seconds. Background information 20 to 25 seconds. So, 100 seconds done. We are left with one more part, and that is the conclusion. No, to add further, that is a futuristic view, because this is where you are going to add the future tense, correct? Also in the coming days, if I ever get a chance to attend a circus, I would never miss it. This is quietly because circus is a best time, one of the like good times to spend the leisure, and it makes one laugh. It done, man. Future is easy, you cook up the story, but in this, in this template, you should fit in. Also in the coming days, if I get a chance to attend another event, I would prefer to dive in as it could be great, some great time to spend my leisure. So, since I am starting a dependent sentence, since circumstance awakens are, I am trying to write something here, speak something, you can shorten it. Since circus awakens our awareness about the endless possibilities of the very body, it also reminds me of the potential to do things beyond my capacity. That's all. And to conclude, if the examiner is still wanting to hear from you, so to conclude and in the examiner with an eye that I am ending it now, better you say enough, stop. So to conclude, all in all, such events do help us spend our leisure with a laughter, but also reminds the cruelty behind the screen, especially for the innocent animals and the torture those animals need to endure. And you end it. If you do not have this good flow of speech with right words, it's totally fine. Speak in your own terms. Don't have to think twice. You will get 7 and above. For 8, 8.59, yes, you need to have a quality speech, good English. For 7, normal English, whatever the way you communicate in your, in your office or in your day-to-day life activities, the same way you do it, no need to try to change some marks, no, you're going to mess it up. Remember, it's not the content, it's the coherence, cohesion, the structure, the template, fluency, grammar. Template will cover everything. You start the sentence with since, automatically complex sentence is covered. Hope you are getting it. So to sum up, always understand, there is no marks given for task response. There is no marks for content here. So in the worst case, you can speak anything or divert the topic, but you have to speak with the same structure. That's the highlight. Use the structure that I have given you. The template helps, and template helps. Alright, I really hope this indeed was a lovely session. It's good to interact with you all this way. Anytime you need online assistance, kindly WhatsApp us to the number appearing at the bottom of the screen. Please WhatsApp us. It's a paid assistance. We will help you in a right way. Also, if not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button for the future notifications. Soon I will be back. This is Nakul signing off from Skills IELTS. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Keep watching our channel.